Okay, g'day. No, alright, g'day. My wife will be upset if I don't do that. Alright, g'day. I think I'm getting her a shirt, mate. It says alright, g'day. Anyone who wanted one of these, they're on the way. I've ordered them. I'm really stoked to get them in your hands. Anyway, look, I wanted to talk about something important to me, and that's something that I think a lot of Nashville people don't do, and I think is extremely important, is you need to find a mentor. I moved to Nashville 5 years ago, and on my first day, I walked past AJ's, saw someone I recognized, walked in and said, "Dude, you are Mike Bork, pedal steel player and guitarist." He said, "Yep, who the heck are you?" And the next morning, I went to his gig and sat in, and he went, "Well, you're not very good, but I can work with this, I think." And he quickly began helping me and helping me understand how to play country music, how to do everything I didn't understand. I would call him at 3 a.m. and I still do sometimes and say, "Mike, I sent you this video of me playing. What do you think?" And he goes, "No, that's not going to work in this context. And that's not going to work. And you need to try this." And we argue all the time. I'm like, "But I do this and it sounds good." He goes, "Yeah, this sounds better." And he's usually right. Okay, Mike, I'll say that on film so you feel happy. No, but the thing is, man, I approached Mike with a very open mind. I said, "Look, man, I'm not very good. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have enough money to survive. I'm scared. I don't know any tunes. I don't know any one. I want to play country music for a living, and I've never played country music. I've transcribed a lot of Leon Rhodes and a lot of J.D. Simo, and that's it. I don't know who Brent Mason is, really. I don't know who these guys are. I know who Rod Riley is, and I know who James Mitchell is, and I know who Guthrie Trapp is." And he said, "Oh yeah, we've got some work to do." Mike took time with me, and he still does. Mike became a mentor to me. The joke around town is that he's my dad. Someone goes, "Oh, it's so good you reconnect with your son." What? Who? But it's a funny thing, this fiddle player. I don't know if he still believes it, but he believed it for a while. So I call him Dad, and it's a funny joke. Anyway, the thing is, I went to someone who I really, really, really respected and really looked up to in many ways, and went and said, "I need your help, and I don't know you, but I love your playing, and I'm willing to buy you lunch, and I'm willing to sit and listen, and I'm willing to learn if you're willing to help." And Mike took the chance on me. Mike really took the chance on me, because 5 years later, he's one of my best friends, but he's still my mentor in many ways. I call him asking about pedal steel stuff or country stuff or whatever, and he gives me really good advice. We don't agree on everything, but that's the point, I've helped him with some stuff. He's helped me with more stuff I can find. Recently, the young guy who's in my video, Alex, well, he came to one of my gigs last year, and he came up and said, "Hey man, you're a really good guitarist." And I was like, "Well, I don't know what you're listening to." He goes, "Can I get your number?" And I was kind of like, "Sure." I think I was still smoking back then. I think I went out for a cigarette, and he kind of joined me, and I remember feeling bad. Anyway, Alex started talking to me a lot about stuff and getting help from me, and I realized I think I'm becoming a helping hand to him. This is really great. Anyway, I'm at a gig, and this guy comes up. He's like, "Hey man, are you Rue?" I was like, "Yeah man, I'm Rue. What's up? Who are you?" And he goes, "Man, I'm Alex's dad." And I went, "Oh, crazy. That's awesome." And he just goes, "Man, Alex talks about you all the time. He says you're like a big brother and a mentor to him. And like I am now, I just started welling up. I thought that was really beautiful." Because I don't know what I've necessarily done, but it's the same thing as my parents visited and met Mike, and my dad took Mike aside and said, "Man, thank you for looking after my son," Tom Bukovac said it in a short. He said, "Find a mentor." Someone like Book maybe not going to be your mentor, or Guthrie Trapp or whatever, but find someone who you gel with. And Mike's the polar opposite to me in every way. We disagree on gear, we disagree on playing everything, but for some reason, it really works between us, like the relationship. And we've shared the stage on a gig, and that was a very big honor for me. And we played with original Buckaroo and Pharoah Saunders drummer Willie Cantu, who's in his 80s now, and playing Buckaroo with the guy who played on the original recording of Buckaroo that was really, really special. Now, this is my thing. When you move to Nashville, find some older cat. I don't care if he's touring. I don't care if he's on the road. Same thing. I don't care if he's on Broadway. I don't care if he's on Second Ave. I don't care if he's in Printer's Alley. I don't care if he's a studio guy. You know, work hard to find someone, and it can be multiple people. I consider a lot of people my mentor because there are a lot of people who've taken time to really sit with me and help me learn different things, you know. Mike's the biggest. I have to give credit where credit's due. I really believe in that. Find guys who call you, who make you feel okay, who you can send a video of you playing to, and they're going to go, yeah, man, that was really cool, but they're going to be honest and say, don't do that. They're not going to sugarcoat it and be nice. They can say, nah. My guitar teacher growing up, I still call him. He came to my wedding in January all the way from Australia. Never been to America. Fell in love with New York. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I still call him and say, man, I feel like my playing's all over the shop and I'm trying to organize it. I was on the phone to him a couple of hours ago, you know? And he helps me and he gives me ideas and stuff. All these people are part of the family tree that creates you. I've drawn mine out because it's expanding, and I write down little conversations I had. Sometimes people give you a single piece of advice in a mentorship way that can change your life. And that's very important to note. I've had people say little things that had profound impacts on me. I had a lesson with Owen Barry, who's a good friend of mine, and I would say a mentor. And he said one thing that just, in the context of right then and there, helped me. I'm being vulnerable and admitting and telling you this, but there's no point in not being vulnerable. And I want to say this, a lot of people probably think that's really lame and whatever, but I feel so strongly and emotionally about music at any given point. To play music is the highest honor I can bestow to my soul and to other people. It is a very spiritual experience when it happens, when I let the music come from me and come from somewhere that I can't explain, an intangible place. So I want to be honest about the fact that I really struggled when I moved to town. I was the worst player on Broadway, and it's not a hyperbole, it is a fact. But a lot of people saw how desperate I was for this, how much I wanted it, and how hard I was willing to work, so they kept giving me chances and chances, right? And for that, I'm more grateful than anything in the world. But I've had the chance to have advice given to me, constructive criticism given to me, lots of things that have benefited and helped me in many ways, because I've allowed my insecure ego to be let go and to go, no, this person knows more than me. It's time to listen to them. And you know, this is another thing. Not all advice that's given to you has to be taken. You don't have to take every bit of advice. You can choose. Who am I seeing drum? Cameron Smith, Danny Isgro, woo, Ricky, what a band. Oh, Lauren K's running. I love Lauren K. I love that whole band. I love those boys. I play with them with Dallas on Saturday mornings and Sunday 6 to 10. Now look, here's the thing. Not all advice that's given to you has to be taken. You don't have to take everything very seriously. But when you'll know when something hits you. And when you find a mentor in Nashville, it's so good to have that and have that connection. Here's the thing, a mentor doesn't have to be a guitar teacher. I've got people who've mentored me in building guitars. I've got people who've mentored me in the hang, in emotional connection, in trying to be a better person. I've got people who've helped me with social situations, which is something I've really struggled with my whole life, is understanding social situations and perhaps coming to term with them and working on them. You know, finding someone or multiple people who are willing to take the time to help you is just such a huge thing. And I think it's such an important thing for anyone who truly wants to take on Nashville. There's someone walking in the middle of the road. That's probably not safe, mate. So look, when you get to Nashville, I don't know if you're Steve Vai or if you just learned a G chord, find you a mentor and invest in them. Invest in them because they're going to invest in you and they want to see the dividends paid off. Man, I've had cats come over for a lesson or talk to me about like, oh, I'd love to hang out and do this. It's like, sure, but you know, it's kind of like maybe they come back for the lesson, but they're not prepared. And it's like, well, I want to give you a lesson. Man, I don't want you to just pay me because like I'm taking your money for no real reason now. You know, you don't need this next lesson. You need to focus on the first. And that's probably because what I offered doesn't align with what they actually want. And you have to figure out what you want. No one has a clear vision of that. You know, it's a perpetually changing thing. So look, as you move into, I don't want to hit this bloke, but he was in the middle. As you move to Nashville and find your path, I say find a mentor who supports and can help you get where you want. It can be multiple guys, it can be one guy, it doesn't matter. It's all about the fact that you're finding someone who is willing to invest time in you, you're finding someone who's enjoyable to be around, and who teaches you what you want to be taught. Oh, I love it when I get a parking spot like right at the top of the parking garage. But this one's a bit weird because it's on like a block, so I don't know how this works. Very odd. Anyway, I'm not gonna park here. It's got this weird block there that I don't like and I don't really trust. It's very awkward for parking. I think it's going to be a drain. Okay, well, you just watched me fail at driving in America. Maybe I need a driving mentor. No, seriously, find a mentor. Find a like-minded clique. I'm not very good at that. There's a young man who's a very good player. Good old Logan Stalik. Great player. Moved here, found the clique, found his people, got on board with it. Finding your group is another conversation, but find you a mentor. I'm so lucky to have the mentors I have, the people who are willing to invest time and effort into me, because I'm sure for a lot of people it feels wasted because, oh, this dude can't play and he doesn't know what he's doing and he's annoying. And I can be very illustrated and excited about the guitar and music, but I can't help it. And I just want to exude that love, and I want everyone to feel that and understand that. There's no reason to be upset. We play music. We are very, 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 very lucky people. The reward for playing music is playing music. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll say it 1 billion times. Now look, I think that's all I have to say. You need to find a mentor, man. Find someone who knows this city and can help you. You know, I'm looking to maybe go play in the Gulch a bit more and play some more bluegrass and some swing and really get into that world. And I don't know what I'm doing. So I reached out to someone and said, I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do? And now I'm getting a good old guitar lesson with him. And I'm very, very, very excited and very honored to be doing so. But if I hadn't have just taken that one thing of just admitting I'm not enough, but I want to be enough, it never would have happened. So, you know, if you're going to take a too long didn't read from this video, be willing to be, you can't be willing to be scared. You have to be willing to be courageous in the face of all your fears. You are moving to Nashville to play music. There's no guarantees. I don't know. You could be the best player in town and you could just not get work. You just might not be the cat who gets hired. And that's a really hard thing to deal with. But it's a very real thing to deal with, unfortunately. So when you move to town, understand that as fragile as the ego may be, you have to be willing to surrender yourself to the idea that you are a beginner and you are always learning. You will never be the master, you will always be the student. I'll leave you with this. This is one of my biggest mentors. And I haven't made much of a video about him because every time I talk about him, this happens. I start welling up. I study with Mick Goodrick. I listened to Mick Goodrick since I was 4 years old with the Gary Burton Quintet. And he became one of my best friends. And the last conversation I ever had with Mick, before he passed away, we were talking about pedal steel. And he said, oh, what's great about pedal steel is you can change the undercarriage and get all these different tunings and stuff. And he said it very slow. It took a long time. And he goes, I wonder if I'll ever look into it. He said, all right, nice to talk to you. And then we hung up. And even until the day he passed, he was willing to learn. And I just think that's the most important thing. Lose the ego and be willing to learn. Because when you move to Nashville, if you move here hot-headed, you'll get it beaten out of your system real quick, or you won't get gigs. But if you move here willing to learn, the whole city will come out in droves to help you. I just want to exude love and peace in the world. I just want to put out music. I just want everyone to move here and have a great time. I hope everyone has a great Wednesday. I'm off to my 3 guitar gig. We're all going direct. We're going to see how it goes, and I'm very excited. So, cheers.